Welcome back to part 2 of being pregnant in a pandemic, the UK versus Japan. If you haven't seen part 1 already, we'll put the link in the description, so be sure to check that out. But we're going to pick up with another weirder aspect of pregnancy. What's our next question, Kim?
Yes, so what is the weirdest thing to have happened to you during pregnancy?
Well, I don't think I've had a lot of weird moments just because I've been stuck at home most of the time. But I think probably one of the weirdest was just the number of requests I've gotten on videos to show my belly button. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing before being pregnant. I think there are people.
You have an out, don't you? Your belly button sticks out.
It didn't before, but it. I didn't have an outie.
Yeah, I don't get that request at all. Mine's an innie, so maybe it's a fascination for outies.
Yes, maybe, but I spent my whole life being an innie, and then around week 20, I suddenly developed this outie belly button, and clearly people were very interested.
So funny. I thought it was quite interesting. Did it happen quickly? Did you just wake up one morning like, oh, that's it out now?
I remember doing a plank, and I was like, ooh, that didn't happen before.
Oh, that's funny.
And now, because she's just gotten so much bigger, now I think she's just kind of pushing into the belly button, so it's a little bit flatter than it was. But I'm looking forward to the return of my innie belly button. What about you? What's been the weirdest moment?
Again, I think because pandemic life, it's been more internet related. Yeah. So, yeah, I've had a few very, very strange comments, including stuff to do with vor, which I've never heard of, which is a kind of a fetish where people want you to eat them alive. Which obviously isn't possible as well, but there's big imagination involved where people and it's very odd. And I've had people as well ask about strangers touching my belly and if you come up and rub my belly. No, we're in a pandemic. Everyone's 2 meters away. Why would someone be rubbing my belly? That's strange.
Why would I let you do that even if we weren't in a pandemic?
I think I got a bit tacky on one of my replies, and I was like, well, I quite like my personal space anyway, so it's probably a good thing.
That's one good thing about Japan, is that physical touching is just generally not done anyway. So I've had no requests or no people reaching over to touch my belly, which I'm grateful for. Ooh, the next one's a good one. A belly check. Shall we stand up?
Being so small throughout, it's crazy. Like, I'm doing your videos, and my flatmate will come in sometimes and be like, "Oh well, are you doing the same week?" And I'm like, yeah. I just look like I'm 4 weeks more pregnant.
Yeah, I'm like, so we can do. Where are we now?
Yeah.
So. Exactly. I've got my maternity jeans on.
Oh yeah, and maternity leggings.
So we've got 38 weeks and 35. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yours is quite like up here, and mine's like a little bit lower.
Yeah, yours is more sort of here, isn't it?
See, I would like a pregnant bump like you have.
It gets more uncomfortable though, because it's like up in my ribs.
Because, okay, I'm going to sit back down again. But, I spent probably half the pregnancy just kind of worried that my bump was too small. And I was looking at all of these photos and videos of other people at like 22 weeks or 30 weeks. And I'm like, they have a real bump. And I'm like, I want a real bump too. I actually want to look pregnant. And I think I look pregnant now. So that's and I know it's a concern for quite a lot of women, is like belly size and bump size. And I suppose the good thing is that it doesn't really have a huge thing to do with baby's health. Like, baby can still be perfectly healthy, no matter what your bump size is. But it's interesting to compare.
Yeah, every baby's different, every pregnant woman's different, every body's different. So
yeah.
So, next one, how has having a belly made your life better or worse?
Ooh, well, when I finally did develop a belly,
Yeah.
I think it's nice to like be able to put my dinner on my belly and eat from, not have to hold my bowl.
Yeah.
I could just sit and
a cup of tea.
yeah,
So handy.
yeah. It's a very, very convenient portable table. That's one of the good things, and I think one of the bad things, I think in the past maybe like 2 weeks or so, it's just been really difficult to turn over in bed, like harder than it was. Thankfully the pelvic pain has abated somewhat, but it's just like lugging this huge thing over every time you need to turn. That's been,
I found I just have to turn slower, so where normally you just kind of flip yourself without even really thinking about it, I sort of do it in like gradual little movements.
yeah.
Like end up like stabbing pain somewhere, and yeah, so you do sort of adapt quite quickly, I think.
Yeah, like I used to turn over by lifting my head and turning over, but then I'm like, well, it's kind of like a sit-up, probably shouldn't do that, and so now I like bridge and lift my bum up and then turn over. So yeah, there's been some adaptations that have occurred.
Yeah, I'm sort of quite aware of the diastasis recti and stuff, and
Yeah.
trying not to let all that happen. So I think that's where the gradual moving comes in.
What's been the best thing about having a belly for you?
There was one moment in Tesco's supermarket. I was returning my trolley to the little bay thing in the car park, and there was this like proper geezer builder covered in paint. And he went, "You taking that back, love?" I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "Oh, we are." And he took it off and put it back, and I was like, "Thank you."
Oh,
I made my day.
that's so nice.
Yeah. Normally, obviously, no one would do that for you.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Yes, thanks, Bob."
Yeah, it's like licensed to have people, do things for you or stop to let you cross the road. Or,
Have you had like a particularly nice perk of having the bump?
I mean, besides having a coffee table, I think when I was crossing the road the other day for my walk, like nobody was stopping at the crossing to let anyone cross, because apparently in Japan you don't actually have to stop at a pedestrian crossing. Cars have right of way, and this woman like stopped for me, and I was like, "Oh, thank you," and then I crossed the road, and I was just like, that was really nice.
It is like just small little acts of kindness, isn't it?
Anything bad about having a belly though?
Probably just the discomfort at this stage, and that's been quite recent for me as well. The past, pretty much just this week. Until now, I'm sort of quite enjoying it, but this week was sat so high up. So like I was basically like this for a whole time because this side was just killing me. He's moved away from there. But yeah, he's like right under my sternum as well.
Yeah.
Breathing difficult, and just everything. But he has moved down a little bit again now, so I'm complaining there.
Yeah, I saw your photo on Instagram with him like all on one side, because she does that too, and I've seen like other pregnant women who also have babies that kind of just ball up into one side. Like
it's funny, you just assume it's always going to be round, but then sometimes you look down and you're like, oh, it's all over here.
Yeah, it literally looks like an alien. What is the worst thing about being pregnant in a pandemic?
I think it's just the obvious, the risk of actually contracting COVID. It's a good friend of mine is an anaesthetist who gives epidurals, and he's really seen the negative side of it, and any woman who needs like severe intervention in the UK if they get COVID, so if they need intubation and they're above 24 weeks pregnant, they give them a C-section.
Wow.
And 24 weeks, that's it's crazy. Really scary. So at around that time I was really, really careful. Now the baby's like much more viable, and 35 weeks, 36 weeks nearly is, you know, really high survival rate and stuff.
Yeah,
there was a time that I was like, I'm not going near any humans right now. The cat is the only company I need.
Yeah, I think that's been something that most pregnant women have worried about, and I know some have been very grateful that they've allowed, at least in some countries, pregnant women to get this vaccine. But I think one of the other unfortunate things about the pandemic, I think, is just not being able to see family. So for instance, my mom would have flown over for the birth, just as a given, but Japan is just like, nope, we're not allowing anyone in. It doesn't matter why you need to come or where you come from. So it's been a bit lonely, and like I would have loved to have a baby shower, you know, with a conventional baby shower, because I like those sorts of things. My family threw a really nice virtual one, so people have adapted, but it's definitely very different, like the community aspect of being pregnant in a pandemic.
I think that's it's understandable, and as well, like I've not seen my sisters the whole time I've been pregnant, so it's almost, and because I'm not going to have the baby at the end of it as well, it's going to be like, I did do that. I
promise.
Like, please, go and watch my YouTube videos. It really happened. So last of all, what's the best thing about being pregnant in the pandemic?
Being able to stay in your pajamas all day. I've had maybe like 3 outfits that I've worn for the past 7 months. I enjoy my own company, or mine and my husband's company. I'm not I don't really like going out a lot anyway. So being home and just being able to relax and not have to like interact with anyone, especially if, you know, they're sick, has actually been quite nice.
Yeah, it is. It's quite nice not to have that sort of obligation almost. Like, I'm relatively social normally, and because I live just outside of London, but all my friends and family are still in London, it would always be me sort of commuting to go and socialise, and no one's been socialising. So I've not had to sort of be travelling, and I was off sick from work just with fatigue and exhaustion for a little while. I do shift work in my day job, which just isn't possible when you're pregnant. There's no way. So it's been quite nice to not have a routine and to be able to get up at 11 a.m. if I need to.
Yeah, that's been great. Like being able to sleep when you want to and nap when you need to. I've enjoyed that. I think I might miss it once the baby is here and she needs feeding. I think I'll enjoy it. I'm looking forward to that. But I know that my sleep schedule is going to need to change a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Pregnancy insomnia?
Yeah. It comes and goes. I think recently, maybe the past week or so, I haven't been sleeping particularly well. But sometimes it's just, I'm tired, and then I go to bed, and then you just can't sleep. And then you get hungry and have to wake up for a snack. Yep. Yeah, or 10 times to pee. Yep. I forgot about the continuous peeing. Yeah, it's probably about time for a pee break.
Yeah. I think that pretty much wraps up part 2, doesn't it?
And hopefully, you know, things are on the up, and life will kind of get back to semi-normal.
Actually travel.
Yeah, it would be nice for you to actually be able to go on the trips that you plan. But we will keep watching to see if you end up being able to.
Yes, I mean, regardless of the pandemic situation, I will find something to do, whether that means choosing another country and quarantining for 2 weeks and then traveling around one country, or something. I'm going to hopefully try and get the vaccine before I go. I'll do some volunteering in ways so that I can get the vaccine. So thank you very much for watching. Being pregnant in a pandemic certainly has its challenges and its bonuses. And please check out Fairly Strong Fitness if you want some really good fitness videos. I've been doing them religiously since about 27 weeks, I think. I highly recommend them. And continue watching my videos and follow for travelling updates.
Yes, I'm going to be very enthusiastically watching those.
Okay, excellent. Bye for now.